Opportunities don't happen, you create them. Chris Grosser, how do you create them in the marketplace? You're in every day, 10 to 15 minutes, learning how to chart these ETFs and stocks. Let's jump into the charts today. Stocks and bonds down, gold and Bitcoin up. What do we see occurring on the S&P 500? We had a nice, beautiful up move last week where we garnered 2.32% in just, was that 3.5 days? That was rather nice. Things peaked out not too long after that, and then of course have shot back down, approaching the 200 EMA. Will it bounce off and go back up? We don't know. If it does, it does. If it doesn't, we're ready to go short again. So we'll just see where this goes. Now, as we look at where things are on the 2-day chart, we can see it's still in the green, although we see two 2-day candles forming there heading down, but still in the green on the STC. And we look at where we are on the weekly. Weekly still in the green. This is a weak week after lots of strong up movement. Now the market could just be digesting these up moves, getting ready to go up again, or it could be dying on the vine. We'll let time tell. We're in a holding pattern right now after taking some profit. We're above the 200 EMA, so we're looking for long trades only, and we'll see how things go. Now, where are we on the Qs? Qs didn't work out as well as the S&P 500 did. It popped up on us and then, of course, started to roll over. We garnered a little less than 1% right there. As things turned red, jumped out as we have learned to do. We didn't write it down, so no loss, a little bit of a gain. That's okay. Trying to push through the 200 EMA, it went from green to red. And of course, that is our telltale sign to be getting out, which we did. And we'll see where this is going. We're going to have a bounce off and go back up again, or is it going to push through and go down? Time will tell. 2 days still green, but those two down candles that we see. And we're still green on the weekly, so things look quite similar between the S&P and the NASDAQ 100. We'll see how things move forward. What about 20-year bonds? Well, they were down for the day a little bit, 0.55%. What do we really see happening here? Are we trying to reach a bottom? Can't tell. As we plug into these, we can basically see two dojis right there. Lots of indecision. Are things bottoming out and ready to head up again? I don't know. I want something to happen so we can get some signal we can go with. We had a weak crossover. It just went down for a day, then popped up, then down, then popped up, then down, then popped up sideways and down. Nowhere to really enter into this to find anything good. So what are we waiting for? Maybe a reset. Maybe the STC will go green and then it rotates over and goes back down again. We could stand for that. But again, if the charts aren't setting up to you, aren't giving a trade, then guess what we do? We keep our powder dry. First rule of trading, don't lose money. Second rule of trading, make money. But you follow the rules. Now, what do we see on the 2-day? Still strongly down. We can look at this and we see that again, lots of downward pressure. STC is red and lots of red down candles on the weekly. Again, going into the 3rd week of down movement, still green, but again, on both the weekly and the 2-day, we are well below the 200 EMA on both of those charts. So we can see that we are in the red there. We had some weeks of some up movement, or days of up movement on the 2-day candle and then rolling over. So again, we'll watch, wait and see. You can see those weeks of up movement. Nothing like the weeks and weeks and weeks of down movement. So some point bonds will recover or they'll roll over again and give us the ability to short them. When that happens, we'll be ready to pull the trigger in either puts or a trade in the inverse bond fund, TBF. Now, let's move to gold. We had a beautiful short trade last week, 1.58% down in gold. Gold went a little further, and over the course of the day, today is trying to move up 0.70%. Still red on the STC below the 200 EMA. So we'll see how this continues to play out. What do we see on the 2-day? Again, 4 down candles, but still green on the STC. And on the weekly, gold is red. We had lots of down movement in gold, 2 weeks of decent up movement, and now 2 weeks of down movement again. So, you know, the one thing we see as an outlier here is, of course, that 2-day chart. I'm guessing that if we continue to see down movement, it may very well rotate over again soon. So we'll wait, watch, and see how gold continues to set up. But like I said, we had a good trade recently. Again, you take it when it comes, and then you wait for the next opportunity. You try to force these markets, you will get burned. Okay, what do we see going on with Bitcoin? Recovering a little bit, 2.44%. What does that look like when it comes to candles? Not a lot after all of this just hammering down movement. And of course, where are we on Bitcoin? This is, of course, the Bitcoin ETF. This is the short-term future that you can find on any of your favorite exchanges, you know, your online trading platforms. It's not a crypto exchange where you find this. You find this where you find ETFs and stocks. That's what makes VanEck nice. It's also, of the 3 that were approved by the exchange, you see that this one has the lowest fees. It's the one that I've been practice trading. Now, what do we see happening here below the 200 EMA? We saw where Bitcoin was trying to move up, but here lately just rolling over, hammering down, red on the STC. The 2-day is still green on the STC. It had been going up for a while, but these last 3 candles, particularly the candle before last, was really a hammered stroke down for us. We look at where we are on the weekly chart. It is in the red on the STC. And of course, we had 4 up candles in these last 2 weeks moving down. So Bitcoin still has some recovering to do. That is where we are, my friends, when it comes to the charts. Don't forget, tomorrow we will be recording for you our Charting Crypto. That is a special podcast that we do, well, a special video cast that we do. Goes out first, of course, to our Patreon members, and then we put it out for everyone else on Friday. But if you appreciate what we do and want all the benefits that accrue to our Patreon supporters, then by all means, please become one. The things you support tend to stay around. God bless, my friends. All the best from the whole team at Charting Wealth World Headquarters.